Politics 101, Arlene Unfiltered. Okay, here we go with the electoral map. All right, as I've said in my past videos about the Electoral College, the electoral votes, and how the president gets elected, the president, whoever becomes president, is the first one to get 270 electoral votes. Now you can see on this map, every single state has a number associated with it. You probably have to screen in or zoom in with your fingers. Every one of them has a number of electoral votes. So you can see over here, California has 54, New York has 28. They're both blue. All the blue goes to the Democrats, all the red goes to the Republicans. So between those two states, Kamala Harris already has 82 votes. Only two states, and she's, more than a quarter of the way there. All right, so then what you're looking at, and this is just how you look at elections, you say, how does the math work? What is the combination of states that will get you to 270 electoral votes if you win the popular vote in those states? So right now, where we're sitting is it's pretty clear that these states, according to this map, this is just, I don't know who created this map, but as I look at it and what I know, it's looking pretty accurate. We can work with this. So right now, there's a question as to where Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, and Nevada are going to go. What direction are they going to go? And so there is going to be a huge ramp up of advertising in those 5 states. But the thing that's really in question is what's going to happen in Georgia and North Carolina? Because what we don't know at this point is what percentage increase in black voters is going to happen. Because black voters in the 2020 election in these battleground states, the participation was anywhere between 50 and I think just shy of 70%. If black voters increase their percentage of participation, they could actually influence the taking of these 5 states right there, because you have to win the popular vote in the state. There's nothing to say that they couldn't take Ohio as well, because there are 2 cities in Ohio, Cincinnati, Cleveland, that have large black populations. And so just an increase in the percentage of black voters coming out for these battleground states and these 2 here could be the difference in the election. Now, the next thing we have is the young vote, the 18 to 35 group that have been they were activated for Barack Obama in the past, but they have been activated in a way that is unprecedented. The number of them that are signing up, they are registering to vote for the first time because they have just been sitting on the sidelines thinking that none of this matters and their vote doesn't make a difference. The number of them that are volunteering, they are going to show up in force. That is a huge factor. It'll be a factor across the whole country, but it will only truly make a difference if it is in these battleground states, Georgia and North Carolina. The other thing, the other unknown, well, let me tell you this. The next group that is likely to turn out in force for Kamala Harris are suburban women who in the last election voted for Donald Trump. Unknown why they did that, but something has happened, probably having to do with reproductive rights, that they are going to move, some percentage of them that were in Donald Trump's camp are definitely moving into the Kamala Harris camp. Another thing that's happening is you have older Republican voters who are declaring that they are moving out of the Trump column and into the Harris column. And then there is the whole contingent of women who tend to vote or who will say out loud that they are voting for Trump because their husband is voting for Trump, and they will end up in the privacy of the voting booth voting for Kamala Harris. I don't think everything that I've laid out, I don't think anyone can refute this because there's too much momentum. There are too many voting blocks that the increases we are going to see in voter participation makes that it is very possible that these battleground states move back to blue and that North Carolina and Georgia also go blue. And so that's my prediction at that point, or at this point. I can't say with certainty that this is what's going to happen, but based on what I see happening among the electorate and what I'm seeing across all of social media and what people are talking about, of what I'm seeing in the way that the Trump campaign, and in particular J.D. Vance, have been talking about Kamala Harris, which by extension, you're talking about women in general. There are too many people who have been activated and are taking action at this point, and the momentum is there, and it only has to be carried for the next few months. And so by August 7th, like the news cycle is going to be dominated by Kamala Harris between now and August 7th because she's going to pick her VP. And then the news cycle will go from August 7th through till I think it's August 16th when the Democrats have their convention. So the news cycle is dominated there. And shortly thereafter, once the Democratic convention ends. And so that leaves you roughly a little more than 2 months to do whatever you're going to do to make things happen. And so the Republicans are doing what they're doing. They're, rallying their troops in all of their places. But the truth is, it's coming down to what are the people in these battleground states, North Carolina and Georgia, feeling, possibly Ohio, how are they feeling? The ground efforts, the grassroots efforts on the part of the Democrats, they are so activated and energized right now that the storm is coming. The thundering herd is assembling. And if anyone underestimates the extent to which women, in particular in America, are pissed off, they're making a grave mistake, because I'm calling it now. Kamala's taking this election.
Hello, my people. Lady Rosie here. How y'all doing? To all my new subscribers, you're welcome. And the returning subscribers, y'all know I love you. We're going to go back to this politics, y'all. Let's focus. Let's keep it focused. Share the video so we could get more people here. We need to get everyone in this one here. Get all the women. Get your grandbabies here. They need to listen to this Project 2025 that everyone was talking about. It's been a few months since I started researching this thing, but yet there was no clear message. But now I found a few clear messages for y'all guys to share with y'all guys. So go ahead and share this video so it could reach everyone out there, because I'm telling you, you'll be surprised. Even the red people, the red state people, would not like all this project to come to life. So we need to vote blue. I'm always telling y'all, if you do not do politics, politics will do you. So therefore, we're all going to rise, all behind Kamala Harris. Because this project is the worstest thing that could be accepted by any American. You love your children. You love your future. You love your freedom. Vote against the Project 2025 people. They're playing dumb. They asked President Trump questions about this Project 2025. I'm also going to play his answer right here for y'all guys. So let's go.
Donald Trump were elected next year, that he would try to stay in office beyond a second term? He would never leave office?
There's no question.
You think he would try to stay in power forever?
Absolutely.
The stakes could not be higher. Trump says if he wins, you won't have to vote anymore. Tonight, we are laying out the dangers of Project 2025, the manifesto that would give him that authoritarian power, limit your rights, and force you and your family to change the way you live your life. And we begin this special episode of The Readout tonight with a dire warning for our democracy. Over the next hour, I will lay out the greatest threat to the American democratic experiment in modern times. And it's called Project 2025. with just 99 days till Election Day, and with voting starting a lot sooner than that in some states like Pennsylvania, where early voting begins in September, it is imperative that every American understand what Project 2025 is about and how it would affect every single one of us if it was ever enacted. Tonight is just the first of many nights where we will dig into this dangerous plan. And I really want you to listen, learn, take notes, and share it with everyone you know. And if you look on your screen, you'll notice that QR code where you can find our segments on Project 2025 so you can share them. So let's start with the basics. This is the 922-page mega manifesto. We printed the whole thing out, and it's brought to you by one of the most conservative DC think tanks, the Heritage Foundation. This is the culmination of nearly 50 years of work that began during the Reagan administration. Broadly, according to Heritage President Kevin Roberts, this is a Christian nationalist plan to end what he calls the Great Awakening and, quote, rescue our kids, reclaim our culture, revive our economy, and defeat the anti-American left at home and abroad. This manifesto, which they call a book, is a specific roadmap on how to accomplish that by giving a Republican president unprecedented power. They do that by slashing the federal government's footprint, gutting regulations, slashing the money we spend on children, students, the elderly, the environment, education, and reproductive health care. Every single chapter describes in excruciating detail how to reorder our society by dismantling federal agencies and limiting the federal government's ability to help protect you, the American people, from predatory businesses, excessive taxes, poisoned air and water, you name it. Lately, former President Donald Trump and his campaign, fearful of how unpopular Project 2025 is, have claimed they have nothing to do with it.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it.
Yeah, but that's not the complete picture. Here is Trump promoting the Heritage Foundation and their little project just 2 years ago.
Heritage does such an incredible job, and they're going to lay the groundwork and detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do and what your movement will do when the American people give us a colossal mandate to save America. And that's coming. That's coming.
Here's the other truth. Roughly 140 individuals who worked in Trump's administration are affiliated with Project 2025, including 6 former cabinet secretaries and 4 people who were nominated as ambassadors by Trump. The others were either key figures from his first transition, close Oval Office allies, or mid-level agency officials. There's Russell Vought, Trump's former Office of Management and Budget Director.
Just imagine how the former President Trump played dumb. That in his first video, he stated he did not know anything about the Project 2025. And he called it horrible. It was a horrible thing. Okay? Because why? He read it. They want to take your rights away. And they want you to vote for that. And in the second video, you heard the same president promoting the Heritage Foundation. This is the same Christian foundation I told you guys about. And to all the Sassy Squad, you all know what the Heritage Foundation stands for. Very racist foundation. So apparently they've been working on this project since the Reagan time. What year was that? 70 something? Some of us were not here. How was that government back then? Just imagine, because you want to support the color You want to support a white man because you are white and have a white man take your rights away. Reproductive rights. You're going to be staying in an abusive relationship. I don't know if you're going to even make out of it alive. If it's not you, your children. Your great children. And if you don't think that sounds terrible enough, let's go to your retirement. We are all aging forward. We're not aging backwards. There's going to come a time when this same project is going to tell you can't get your Social Security. You can't get your veteran check. You can't get your disability check. The color of human being is not going to solve that. Because all those laws, they're going to be passed by these people in the Congress. And you and myself, we don't even know where the Congress door is. We see most of those people on television. And before we elect them in the office, you all know what they tell us. They tell us all the good stuff. But by the time they get in that office, brother, they don't even remember that their states exist. They don't even remember that you voted for them. This politician promise all the good stuff before they get elected in their offices. But once they leave their home states and go to Washington, D.C., it's like they got some water that they do drink in that Washington, D.C. They forget about us. They forget about our children. That terrible water in Washington, D.C. has the gene of amnesia in it. It's time for you, women out there, to hold each other's hands. Let's put all the hate aside and fight for this freedom here. Yeah, I'm glad that we're getting the new generation, the Gen Zs. They are also speaking up. This is one of the kids from Yale Law School. She's one of the young girls who also understands this project more than I do. So I'm going to let her explain this one to y'all.
The entire far-right blueprint is 920 pages and 30 chapters. You're not going to read all that. I don't expect you to. And if you haven't even heard of Project 2025, that's okay too. But you do need to know what's in it because it's pretty terrifying. Think a playbook for Handmaid's Tale, essentially turning the U.S. into Gilead. I've looked for some good, easy explanations of Project 2025, and there really aren't that many. This is going to be the most comprehensive and simple explanation of 2025 that you're going to get. So background, Project 2025 dates back to 1973. That's when the Heritage Foundation, a very powerful conservative think tank based in Washington, D.C., was founded. They are the writers and the architects of Project 2025. And their main mission and goal is to move America to a more far-right Christian nationalist state. It originally came to prominence when they wrote their first manifesto in 1981 titled A Mandate for Leadership. And get this, those very same policies were the ones that were used and implemented in the Reagan administration. Seriously, around 60% of the 2,000 proposals written in the manifesto were implemented by Reagan. So now they're back again with a new edition, and this new edition is known as Project 2025. And it's supposed to provide guidance for the Don or whoever becomes the next Republican president. And these 900 pages and 30 chapters are written by professors, doctors, scientists, lawyers, scholars on each subject. And they've divided Project 2025 into 4 main pillars. The first is policy, which is this big book. The second is personnel. They're creating this huge conservative database, think LinkedIn, but for DJT loyalists. The third pillar is training. They set up this online educational system called the Presidential Administration Academy, where they teach their views and ideology in a course. And the fourth is called Playbook, which is an action game designed for how they're going to get everything done. Now let's get into some of the very concerning things on their wish list for DJT's second term. Starting off strong on pages 450 to 503, they're calling for a complete ban on abortions. Not very shocking. Page 319, they're saying the Department of Education should be eliminated. And in addition to calling for its elimination, they state that any school that requires a vaccine or mask mandate will not receive federal funding. Page 482, eliminate the Head Start program. Page 675, calling for the elimination of NOAA and the National Weather Service. Because these organizations, and I quote, have become one of the main drivers of climate change alarm industry and as such is harmful to the future U.S. prosperity. Page 133, they call for the complete dismantling of the Department of Homeland Security. In addition, they argue for the elimination of the FBI along with the Department of Justice. Page 5, they call for a complete ban on corn, writing that corn should be outlawed, the people who produce and distribute it should be imprisoned, and anyone else who participates or facilitates it should be registered. Page 104, reverse policies that allow transgender individuals to serve in the military. Gender dysmorphia is incompatible with the demands of the military service, and the use of public monies for transgender surgeries or to facilitate abortion for service members should be ended. And there's so much more, including the possibility of ending birthright citizenship, banning African American and gender studies in all levels of education, calling for an ending of any DEI programs, getting rid of gay marriage, ending the Affordable Care Act, and it also calls for the mass deportation of immigrants and proposes a plan to round up illegal migrants and lock them up and put them in camps. But perhaps one of the most troubling and well thought out plan is the move to reclassify federal workers under what is known as Schedule F. Now I'm gonna get a little HR heavy, but please stick with me because it's so important. Now there are two types of federal employees. The first group are merit-based workers. These are career positions. These people have earned them through going to school, getting work experience. They're either considered experts or they could be a part of the support staff. These people are hired because they know their stuff. Think an engineer at NASA or a scientist at the FDA. And their federal jobs have protections. Now, the other class are at-will or appointed workers. These employees tend to serve at the pleasure of the president or the administration, which basically means they can be fired or replaced at any time. To put it all in context, there are about 2 million of the first class of merit-based employees and only about 4,000 political appointed ones. Under this new plan of Schedule F, they'd reclassify a bunch of the regular civil servants into political appointees. That way the Don can replace them with loyalists. Now, how does replacing all of these people help him carry out his plan? Let's do an example. Under Schedule F, DJT could take a scientist at the FDA, fire him, and then replace him with, let's say, a scientist who wouldn't give clearance to birth control or the abortion pill, therefore making it illegal and inaccessible without having to go through the courts, without having to go through Congress. By the way, they specifically lay this out in the plan in the 900 pages. Now, remember what I said about the whole conservative LinkedIn? That's the database they're going to use to fill these positions. A bunch of unqualified loyalists. And in October of 2020, actually, DJT tried to do this. He tried to implement Schedule F. He signed it into order, but then he lost in November. And the whole thing was pretty much a secret, but Biden then immediately repealed it. But if he wins this time, they say it'll be one of the first acts of his presidency. Now, the Don has come out and said he doesn't know anything about this Project 2025 and has been trying to distance himself from it. But at least 26 authors and people who are associated with Project 2025 served in his very own administration, including Russ Voigt, John McKinty, Stephen Miller, and many others. Also, his own platform, Agenda 47, just sounds like a SparkNotes version of Project 2025. The president of the Heritage Foundation is calling Project 2025 the New American Revolution. The second DJT term could lead the way.
Yep, there you go. Her audio was not loud enough. I tried to play the thing around here with my system. It did not really work that good. So I apologize for that, but I'm hoping y'all gonna be able to hear what she explained about that Project 2025. So that's more detailed information about this Project 2025 because everyone is just talking about it like one big mystery something. So I hope you understand. And I wonder if this is what we're going to support. And if that's what you, the red sister, brother in those states, is going to support. And if you think it's not going to affect you, I'm telling you, you are wrong. And my question is, why wasn't this project out when Donald Trump was elected in the office for the first time? Why now? I do not really have an answer to that. And I don't believe because Kamala Harris is running for president, that's why they're talking about this thing. No, no, no. They've been talking about this thing for almost a year. I heard it from multiple sources, but I just could not really put my time and sit down and focus to listen to what was being said. I also heard the Vice President, Kamala Harris, talking about it. She also spoke about it just as a whole, did not go into details. Just imagine you've been working for government for all this while around Colorado here. You've been getting that. You have para. That's those people's passion. You had it laid down for you for all those years of service. And all of a sudden, you just gonna lose it because you wanted to vote some racist. A very divisive man who thinks he's better than everyone else. And he also tells you that I don't care about you. All I care about is your vote. Do you think I'm lying? I'm gonna let you listen. I'll let you listen to his own words shortly. This guy doesn't care about you. All he cares about it's himself and white supremacy. Do you see his supporters? The ones calling themselves the Proud Boys? Do you know who those ones are? And they got do y'all know the leader of that Proud Boy was a black dude? Did you know? He was a black man from the Cuban descent. His mother is white from Cuba and the father is black from Cuba. This guy was the leader of this Proud Boy movement that is supporting Donald Trump right here. They call themselves chauvinism something here around. Go Google him. And guess what? And what happened on January 6th? The person who paid the most is that house ninja, the black dude. I forgot what his name is, but he's in prison for 18 years. Why did they arrest a bunch of those white guys who were there with him? But I'm really happy for what they did to him, though. If I was also one of those white, if I was one of these white guys, guess what? I would also arrest him. Because this is a black dude. How come he is the leader of the group that is the majority white? And the creator, the CEO, the founder of that movement is a Canadian white man. And all of a sudden, this black dude thought he was going to run these people over. If I was one of these white guys, I arrest them too. Because guess what? Let me just leave it there because the thing I was going to say, YouTube wouldn't let it go through. Yeah. But I'm so happy, Proud Boys, what you did to that guy there. Let's wait for other black guys who are going to put them nose in that business there. Lock them up too. Because they can't be leading you. They're leading you to terrorism. Terrible movement. And he was like a ride and die for January 6th. Where he at now? 18 years, brother. And it doesn't really matter. Guess what? Your guy here, Trump, is not going back to that Oval Office to save you. It's not going to happen. Y'all gonna need probably to eliminate all the women, like even just suspend that vote from now. In these few days that we have, 98 days, 97 days we have remaining, y'all gonna have to eliminate all of us before we're gonna see that guy back into that office there. It's not gonna happen. We got everything. We got everybody here. We got women. We got men with good heart. We got the man who really see things the way they are. We got all the women. You can't beat that. You can't separate us anymore. You can't put us against each other. I mean, we have no issues with white women. I mean, we have white women in our families. Why should we sit down there and start fighting women of any color? Why? We're related with others through marriages. Some of them are our cousins. Some of them are our grandmothers. Green, yellow, blue, purple, all those women. We're related. You can't succeed this time, I'm telling you. You can't.
Nationalists, Christian nationalists, Republican Party of today, just Donald Trump. If you saw the video footage this week, just the last couple of days, somebody came up and talked to Donald Trump while he was golfing at one of his golf courses. Clearly, he did not know that he was being filmed. Maybe he did. But the way that he spoke, there's something wrong with him. I mean, we know he's got narcissistic personality disorder, but like his sister says, or his niece, he's sociopathic. The way that he was talking about, for instance, Kamala and Biden, insulting is one thing, but the way that he was titillated is the word I'm going to use. His chest was puffed up and he was so arrogant in the way that he spoke about them as if they were subhuman. And you think about in history, the worst atrocities ever committed to human beings, and there have been millions and millions and millions of them. The type of person that is behind all of that lacks like this true ability to care about other human beings, and we know this already. And he's coming off the high of the debate. He's coming off the high of the Supreme Court ruling. He is, to him, he's already won. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that he's just giving us a taste of what's going to happen if he loses. If he loses. If he loses. We haven't seen anything yet. You think he's just going to give dog whistles this time around and do sneaky things behind the scenes? No. No. With the type of, again, the type of personality disorder, the type of, the lacking of human traits that make somebody decent gone, just void with a man like that, I'm afraid that with him being on cloud nine right up until they call the results in November, that if and when he gets the news that he lost, that it's going to be bad. Like, it's going to be bad. I know we've been warned about MAGA, and if he loses, what MAGA supporters are going to do. But honestly, I'm more worried about what. it's going to be bad. I know we've been warned about MAGA, and if he loses, what MAGA supporters are going to do. But honestly, I'm more worried about what he is going to do, because he still has a lot of power and powerful people behind him, even though he wouldn't be doing it from the White House.
But he's just scaring people. I don't think that he has power to do anything if he doesn't win anything. It doesn't have the army or anything behind him. I don't think MAGA is that strong. The most of those MAGA we're talking about here, we're talking about these Proud Boys I was telling you about. Half of them people are arrested. And right now, lots of them do not want to put themselves in those kind of trouble. Messing up the democracy. The 400 years democracy. I'm not sure he's capable of doing anything. But anyway, stay safe. My fellow women, let's be vigilant. But this won't stop us. If it's going to take for you to knock at the doors, to get people to join this movement here, do it. If you know at your job everyone is red around you, just try not to say stuff that's going to ruin your career. You still need to protect that. But there are platforms where we can go and talk and look for strategies, how to reach people, how to bring more people in here. And the youth, it's a lot of them out here right now. They turned 18, they're able to vote. So those people are going to be able to vote. And we know most of the baby boomers are really probably, most of them are no longer going to be able to do so. But the younger generation is a lot of them. So if you were in those areas, start talking to those children. Educate them. Show them our videos. All those content creators supporting Harris. Give them the links to their videos. Send these videos on your accounts, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. It's a lot of us out here. Let not just be excited one day. Like what I noticed when there were all those Zoom calls, those few days when people got together, the white women got together, black women got together, black men got together, and now the black dudes also the white dudes, that's what they call their movement, also got together for Harris. We are not seeing that really big union of people. Yesterday, I was in that meeting for women union for Kamala Harris. There were approximately 200,000 when we began the meeting. And by the time we finished, we were 75,000. And just imagine, we have 50 states in the United States of America. And they do say there are more women on this planet than there are men. And I believe there are more women in this United States of America. I see them in my work. Where are we? Where are you? I know the movement is still brand new, but let's not be those people who get warmed up in 2 seconds and get all agitated or hyped up. And when it comes to the continuation of what we have to do, we stop there because the high is gone. We just got excited one day and the next day we are no longer able to do anything. Let's all register to vote. If you do not know how to do so, contact me here. And or if you can also join the ladies movement, I did put the link up here on my YouTube page. Go there, you're gonna find the link where it says Women for Harris. There's a code for you to text. Somebody's gonna contact you and they're gonna show you how to register in your country. In your state. And also, if you want to register to become a volunteer, you contact the Democratic caucus in your state. If you want to donate anything you want to do, that's what we need to focus on right now here. And that's the only way we're going to beat these people. And this is not a joke. It's not a joke, I'm telling you. These people sat down and brainstormed this thing here for 50-something years. You and myself were not born. That's why I do tell people, any threat, take every single threat seriously. This is not a joke with these people here. All those threats coming from Donald Trump with these MAGA people, it's no joke. Any little tiny threat, even from a little dog, take it seriously. Vote blue, y'all. Vote blue.
Vice President Harris's first rally, I guess you could say, to her campaign staff in the campaign office, addressing all the campaign volunteers and staff. It was like we've been living under this dark cloud of toxic air since 2016. Even with Trump not in the Oval Office, him and his supporters acted like he still was. We just couldn't move on from him. And it's just been really toxic. And then all of a sudden she's standing up there. And it was like stepping out into a beautiful, bright beach where the air is clean. And it just felt so good. You could remember that we could be good again, that we could be a great country again under Vice President Harris. And when her husband got up there and started talking about President Biden and his wife and how they invited them right after she was named VP, and he personally called both their family members. And not only did he say we're family now, he treated everyone like family. And you could see it in how Vice President Harris's husband spoke so fondly about the Bidens, and you could see it when she did. And then when she went and thanked people on the campaign, she remembered all their names. She didn't stumble. She didn't miss a beat. And you could tell she knew them intimately. Like, she knew what they did. She knew what they were contributing. She knew who they were when she introduced them. Unlike Donald Trump, who totally screwed up his own VP's name, J.D. Wentworth. I'm not kidding. Not like Donald Trump, who I just read had like a 92% turnover in staff because he was so inept and so dangerous. It wasn't like that at all. And she's going to be so good for our collective mental health. She really, really is. I'm so thankful for her.
Yeah. She is going to be good for our mental health, I'm telling you. Anything we're going to tell that lady, she's going to listen to us. Kamala, I'm also hoping for a raise for females. We need to get same salary like these people as them. We have same degree. We have the same degrees as these people. We were even smarter than them in classes in schools. I was on dean's list on in my school. But yet these people get paid more than I do. Kamala, you need to look into that too. I'm pleading for all women out here. Equality in salaries. When they're asking for my job qualification, they do ask what kind of degree you have and how many years you've been in the field, and they don't pay me according to that. They pay those men more than they pay us. And yet we're smarter than them. I'm telling you, we're smarter than them. I'm not lying. Don't let them fool you or tell you otherwise. Good men out here back me up. Tell them we're smarter than y'all.
Ideology lines up pretty succinctly with that of Project 2025, and his backing of Kevin Roberts, along with his frequent appearances on Tucker Carlson's talk show, might explain why he is on the Trump ticket. This clip from his Senate campaign run might also have helped too.
I think that what Trump should do, like if I was giving him one piece of advice, fire every single mid-level bureaucrat, every civil servant in the administrative state, replace them with our people. Yeah, I mean, I think we got to do the hard work of institution building. And again, I've got friends who are working on this very problem right now, such that if there is a Trump administration round 2 or a DeSantis or a Hawley administration, that we actually have the bureaucracy in place so that that person can govern effectively and not be constantly undercut.
Trump,
Yeah.
Vance, future step.
You heard that? Fire them and replace them by our people. Who are their people? Remember that Jane Z girl who spoke here, the law school grad, the Yale law school grad, young lady who spoke early? She told y'all they were going to fire all those people and replace them by their Project 2025 individuals. The Trump's vice president nominee, J.D. Vance, told you here clearly. What else y'all want to hear? You'll be surprised the person that he's asking to be fired is your daddy. And imagine your daddy's been working there for 30 years. All of a sudden, he's just going to be laid off. And next thing you know, he even loses his passion. They're not lying to y'all guys anymore. They are clear out here telling you about their plans. And yet, some of y'all are not believing them. Sad. Now listen to what Trump is telling his people.
Because I don't want anybody going on me. We need every voter. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care. Because I don't want anybody going on me. We need every voter. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care.
Yeah, that's in Las Vegas. Apparently the weather was so hot and people were really overheating. And that's what he had to tell his voters. I don't care about you. I just care about your vote. Just imagine. So go ahead and vote for him.
It's nice. You feel the breeze? Because I don't want anybody going on me. We need every voter. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care. See, now the press will take that and they'll say he said a horrible thing. By the way, isn't that breeze nice? Do you feel the...
Yeah, he said the press is going to take it just out of context. But he's telling you with interpretation what he really meant. He doesn't care. Just vote. Yeah. Wow. If I was one of those MAGA members, I would go home, take my t-shirt, take that hat, and bury it in my backyard. And never step foot at any rally again after this. But because those people are really start blinded, they're okay. They don't care if this narcissist assaults them, talks to them somehow, belittles them, belittles you. Huh? What does the auntie say? Believe you, sabotage you, all those. They just don't care. Sabotage you, believe you. People, let me look for that auntie a little bit more. That sabotage you all need to listen to that. Don't care if people believe you. People.
I'll be honest about that. I'm going to save TikTok. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care. I am trying to buy your vote. I'll be honest about that. No tax on tips. By the way, no tax on tips. I am trying to buy your vote.
I'm trying to buy your vote. This is the United States of America. This guy want to become your president, right? And he's also a felon. Why do you think it's hard for him to buy your vote? He knows how that happens. That's why he never believed in January 6th anyway. Because that's just who he is. If you're gonna vote for this guy, man, you got some issues. You need to check in with your psychiatrist. Check in with your psychologist. My office is always open. You can come check in with me. Because there might be something wrong with you. Psychologically. Why do you even believe somebody like this is on your side? You, his supporter, I'm talking to you. How? Why? What's wrong? Guys, I'm gonna stop this right here. I'm gonna talk to y'all guys again tomorrow. Bye for now.